Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you live around the Chicago suburbs, you already know the weather absolutely does not pull punches. But today, we're zooming way in. We're taking a hyper-local look at a specifically punishing environment for roofs, River Grove, Illinois. We're going to use some great data and local expertise drawn right from Patriot Roofing Chicago to break down exactly what your home is up against and, more importantly, how to protect it.
Let's be real. It's not a matter of if, but when. The Chicago metro area is just notorious for those intense spring and summer storms that bring straight-line winds ripping through at over 60 miles per hour. I mean, that is enough force to literally peel older shingles right off your house. So ask yourself honestly, is your roof ready to take a hit like that?
And hey, it's not just the wind you have to worry about. If you're constantly stressed about your home's exterior, you can actually blame local geography. Because River Grove sits right along the Des Plaines River corridor, homes here are subjected to brutal freeze-thaw cycles every single winter. These wild temperature swings constantly expand and contract your roofing materials. It cracks the shingles and sets the stage for some serious winter headaches.
To really understand this, we need to look at specific environmental vulnerabilities. Section 1, the River Grove reality, microclimates and aging homes.
What's actually fascinating is how hyper-local these stress factors are. Think about the residential character of River Grove, especially those gorgeous older homes near Thatcher Woods. Most of those were built between the 1920s and the 1960s, right? Well, they were built way before modern ventilation standards existed, so they just trap heat and moisture right up in the attic. Throw in accelerated UV damage on the south-facing roofs, high winds getting channeled like a wind tunnel down by the Grand Avenue commercial buildings, plus thermal stress radiating off nearby flat roofs, and man, you've got a perfect storm of microclimate stresses.
Okay, moving on to Section 2, warning signs, how local elements destroy roofs.
So, how does all this invisible environmental pressure translate into actual, expensive damage? Well, meet one of your biggest winter enemies, the dreaded ice dam. Remember those older, underventilated attics we just talked about? They trap heat, which melts the snow on top of your roof. Then, that water trickles down to the colder edges, the eaves, refreezes, and builds a literal dam made of ice. As more snow melts, the water can't drain. It has absolutely nowhere to go but backward, creeping right under your shingles and straight into your ceiling. Poor attic insulation plus River Grove's crazy temperature swings? Yeah, those are the primary culprits here.
But ice dams aren't the only thing to look out for. Keep an eye on the metal flashing around chimneys and vents, especially if it's original. That stuff often completely fails years before the shingles do. Also, look out for shingles that have lost over 30% of their protective granules. That's basically an open door for water infiltration. Oh, and don't forget the beautiful mature trees all over River Grove. Fantastic for shade, sure, but dropping leaves and branches frequently clog up gutters, which makes water back up fast. If you're seeing curling, buckling, or cracked shingles up there, that is a massive red flag.
Because these elements are so destructive, the local government had to step in. Section 3, the Code of the County, strict rules for harsh weather.
So here's the deal. Cook County building codes are not just annoying red tape. They're literally your home's armor. Take the Class H wind rating, for example. Because of those severe winds we talked about, any architectural shingles installed here legally must be certified to resist uplift at 150 miles per hour. To do that, roofers have to use a very specific 6-nail placement pattern for every single shingle, instead of the standard 4. It's exactly why those cheaper standard 3-tab shingles just fail and don't even meet code for new installations anymore.
150. That number is the golden rule of attic ventilation in Cook County. The code strictly mandates 1 square foot of ventilation for every 150 square feet of attic space. Remember how older homes trap moisture? Well, this exact ratio of balanced intake and exhaust vents is legally required to stop that from happening. Without it, trapped moisture will absolutely slash the lifespan of your roof and completely void your manufacturer warranties.
And to fight back against those nasty ice dams, Cook County actually requires self-adhering membrane ice barriers to extend at least 24 inches beyond your interior-exterior wall. Wait, actually, scratch that. It's interior wall lines. Yep, 24 inches past the interior wall lines. This rule actively fortifies the most vulnerable spots, the eaves and valleys, stopping winter leaks cold before they ever reach your warm, safe drywall.
Navigating all this extreme weather and strict municipal codes is overwhelming, for sure. Let's look at the fix in Section 4, the solution, Patriot Roofing's hyper-local approach.
There is a night and day difference in how contractors operate around here. Typical storm chasing crews, they might use answering services, guess your estimate from standing down on the lawn, or use completely unknown subcontractors. Patriot Roofing operates on a totally different level. They give you a 24/7 live response. They physically climb onto your roof for a real, comprehensive inspection so you don't get hit with surprise costs later. And every person working up there is a fully insured, certified employee who actually knows the River Grove neighborhoods inside and out.
They essentially eliminate the stress of replacement by using a proven 3-step process. First up, that detailed on-roof inspection, giving you a firm, written estimate within 24 hours. Second, a professional installation that strictly guarantees adherence to all those tough Cook County codes we just went over. And third, a really thorough final cleanup, a walkthrough inspection with you, and the activation of your warranties. Basically no surprises and absolutely no sudden change orders. There's a quote in our source material that hits the nail right on the head regarding homeowner nightmares. It says, "When water's pouring through your ceiling, you reach a live person." Seriously, if a heavy branch punches through your roof at 2 a.m. on a Sunday, you do not want to be leaving a voicemail. Patriot Roofing actually dispatches local crews within hours, bringing emergency tarping and patching supplies to stop the damage immediately. All right, let's wrap this up with Section 5, Homeowner FAQs, Timelines, Costs, and Coverage. We'll do a rapid-fire sequence of the most pressing questions here. First up, how long does a typical roof installation actually take in River Grove? Honestly, this is usually the very first thing people ask. Nobody wants their home turned into a construction zone for weeks, right?
Well, good news. Most standard residential asphalt replacements in the area are knocked out in just 1 to 3 days. They work incredibly efficiently to keep the disruption to a minimum. And yes, while winter installations are totally possible, it really depends on the weather. Temperatures just have to be above freezing so the shingles don't get too brittle and the adhesive seals correctly.
Okay, next up is the big, stressful financial question. If a storm tears through, will your homeowner's insurance actually step up and cover the damage?
Generally speaking, insurance covers sudden accidental damage. Think straight-line winds and hail. But, and this is a big but, they explicitly exclude damage caused by normal wear and tear or poor maintenance. Also, keep in mind if your roof is already pretty old, you might only receive its depreciated value. What's incredibly helpful here is that Patriot Roofing has specialists who take really detailed photo documentation and will negotiate directly with your insurance adjuster. They do that to make absolutely sure you get the maximum settlement you're entitled to. Considering all the wind, the ice, the endless freezing and thawing, just how long is a new roof actually going to last in this demanding climate? So standard asphalt shingles in River Grove usually last about 15 to 25 years. But remember, upgrading to architectural shingles gets you that superior wind resistance. And, like we talked about earlier, the lifespan of any roof is heavily dependent on proper attic ventilation. Because Patriot's crews hold top-tier manufacturer certifications, their precision installations actually qualify you for manufacturer warranties that can last up to 50 years. Pretty amazing.
Oh, and if the thought of dealing with the local building department makes you break out in a cold sweat, don't panic. Yes, building permits are absolutely required for a roof replacement in River Grove, but Patriot Roofing handles the whole shebang. The paperwork, proving liability, scheduling those dreaded municipal inspections, they do it all for you. They make sure you are 100% code compliant without you having to lift a single finger.
Well, we have covered a lot of ground today, from the microclimates near Thatcher Woods to Cook County's intense 150-mile-per-hour wind codes. So I'm going to leave you with this one vital thought. When the next major 60-mile-per-hour storm inevitably sweeps across the Des Plaines River corridor, is your roof ready? And if it's not, well, now you know exactly what it takes and exactly who to call to get it fixed right. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and stay safe out there.